Thanks for staying with us. Let's now take you through the front pages of Nigerian newspapers to see what the headlines will be this Tuesday morning and return for a quick analysis of some of the major stories we will be seeing today. Let's begin with the Nation newspaper as we see something on politics. We've already actually touched a little bit on that. Obi's return to run in 2027 will kill the PDP, says the FCT minister. Like we said, he knows probably something that every other person needs to listen to. Maybe that's exactly it. But the Leadership newspaper we're going to there is also chiming on the same issues where reactions, as Wike says, unresolved crisis could derail PDP convention. Another matter to be looked into as well. While the PDP is trying to fix their house together, what are they saying? We'll tell you more. The Daily Independent is where we're going to now, around the same matter as well. Politicians asking Jonathan to betrayed him in 2015, quoting Wike again. Politics will always be politics. But this Nigeria is where we're going to now, and around the same matter as well. 2027, bringing Obi back will destroy the PDP, Wike is warning. And the News Direct also around the same matter. 2025, El-Rufai, Wike, Onanuga clash with Obi over one-term presidency plan. Ibrahim already said exactly what El-Rufai said before. So you got that. And let's move to another matter, this time around the Daily Times, which is bringing a different look. Nigeria threatens reciprocity as U.S. cancels valid visas. This is something to be worried about, really. But we'll tell you more about that as we move to the Guardian newspaper this morning, as we see something else right here. Local carriers struggle as foreign airlines rake in $1.7 billion from Nigerian market. Man, we are traveling a lot. That's a whole lot of money. $1.7 billion? We need to have an airline too. But let's move to another matter. Say the Platform Times is talking flood this morning. Despite 22.9 billion naira ecological fund shared, floods threaten millions in Nigeria. We'll tell you more as we come into analysis. And on another matter, the Punch newspaper will be showing us a different one here. Federal government may seek Ekpa's repatriation after Finland's 6-year jail term. Would that be the best way to go? Well, the Daily Trust also brings a different light to the matter. Ekpa jailed, Kanu's case drags. We'll talk more about that as the Blueprint newspaper also chimes in on this. Federal government hails Simon Ekpa's 6-year jail term by Finnish court 10 months after arrest. And finally, the Sporting Live this morning, we see right here, Chukwueze signs for Fulham. Well, we will talk, but Etoma, we already said here that Peter Obi will not be signed for PDP according to Wike.
Yes, well, see, let me leave the headline and talk about the man. Wike knows how to be on the media.
You know?
Oh, yes.
So well.
He knows
like a
it.
Donald Trump.
And most of the things he says are things that people know, but for one reason or the other do not want to say. So he shows a whole lot of courage. He comes out and says those things. His permutation about Obi going back to PDP, we said earlier on, he might be correct because it is obvious there are things he knows that we do not know concerning the matrix of the politics within PDP and Obi as a person. These are people, he knows Obi personally. I'm sure they must have shared a meal or something like that over and over again. They are personal friends, and there are things he knows that we do not know. The interesting side of it is Bode George saying, if you don't like it, go to court. Exactly
what I wanted to bring Ria on as well. And that's on the Leadership newspaper, Ria. This matter of the PDP's convention. Now they have a chairman. I want to think they seem to now have everything together, ready for 2027.
But you know, with the PDPs, I don't understand. When we just say that their house is now fixed? And I always say this thing, you want to rule Nigeria, you want to come back, you want to beat and rule Nigeria, but at the end of the day, you cannot even fix your house. So if you cannot fix your house, how do you want to, you know, help or fix Nigeria? Now, I just really want to talk about, you know, Wike saying about Peter Obi not going back. Like it or love it, Wike spits facts. Let's be honest. Like him or not like him. You know, I don't agree with him in everything, but most of the things he says, let's not lie, we see them come into play. And if he's saying this, like Etoma is saying, there are reasons why he's saying this. I'm just hoping that right now, the PDP didn't listen to him before, they saw how it ended. I hope now they have taken lead from what happened the other time to now make sure they listen to what he says. And I just want them to fix their house, because their house is shaky and you cannot win election. You cannot fight opposition.
Don't worry, they have fixed their house.
You have a national chairman, the house is not still being
what
fixed.
They are doing right now is to see if they can win a credible candidate for the presidential ticket. You know, so don't be too afraid about PDP not fixing their house. Right now, their house is fixed.
Right. As long as you have a chairman.
Ask any PDP member, they will tell you, oh, the house is fixed.
It has the plan leading the plan, but let's leave it there. They think their house is fixed, but it's not fixed outside. We are telling you it's not fixed.
Well, Ibrahim, the Daily Independent, Wike is saying that the people asking Jonathan to come back betrayed him in 2015. What is the assurance if Jonathan even takes this bait, he won't be betrayed again?
Whether it's a bait or not, I think it's because it's going to be a bait and switch offer. You know, so we dangle the presidency right in his face, and then the next thing is that they change the goalpost. But is the Constitution even will it even allow the former President Goodluck Jonathan to return? I think Section 137 of the electoral guidelines of the Constitution, actually forbids anyone to spend more than 8 years. You remember he completed the term of former President former President Umar Musa Yar'Adua, those 2 years, and then later on he contested
for his own 4 years.
At the time when they went to court, that could he contest? The court did not even entertain something like that. He was able to contest, and in 2018, it was ruled that no one can spend beyond 8 years in office. So if Goodluck Jonathan is going to ever return to the office, it means that he might definitely be spending 9 years, which is against the Constitution. So it's a dead on an arrival kind of thought. So they should dead it.
Nelson, just to add to it, I feel like he himself, he knows that he cannot run. I feel like this is just the people saying on social media and trying to fuel it. Because we've also seen his wife come out to say that, she's supporting our current president.
That's
so
right.
how is he now going to run again? He knows that he cannot run because he will not win, so he's not even going to try it. And he can't
I feel he's not interested.
I don't think he's interested.
I don't think so.
He's enjoying
statesmanship.
Exactly,
he's having
international
a whole lot of
reputation
international recognition.
So he has even said, I think he has even reacted that the people should just forget
it's just
about
people fueling that.
Because politicians are incurable optimists. They will always believe that we can do anything we want to do.
Anything is possible.
We need to add some speed to this because we have a lot to look at this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Etoma, this Nigeria newspaper, there's something else I want us to look at here. Ribadu has dismissed El-Rufai's claim of government ransom payment to bandit. He says it is baseless. Last night on one of our flagship program, Show Sonny was here, and he said that it was under El-Rufai's tenure as governor of Kaduna State that we saw most of cash transfer to bandits. Right. And Ribadu is now telling El-Rufai, you can't be saying that government were paying money to... So I'm just trying to put that two together. If El-Rufai is saying that the federal government is doing this, and Show Sonny is saying El-Rufai did it, I don't, what's going on here?
Maybe El-Rufai was referring to when he was governor and was doing the transfers. Maybe, you better... He sounds more like somebody that wants to... get attention, get attention.
Desperately needed that.
Desperately.
So you say something sensational, you get big people, holding big offices to react. And your name, look, this thing is just like music. All publicity is good publicity, good or bad. As far as it puts your name on the lips of people and the pages of newspapers, and look, we are spending this
Yes,
money
yes,
discussing this.
You can't beat a child and you expect him not to cry. This is someone who was roundly defeated in the just concluded election, local government election and the senatorial election in his own local government. You know, he even advocated that SDP, that they should vote for the SDP candidate. The same SDP that said we don't want to see you in 30 years, you are on suspension, and you want that person to come on air and be saying yes, the government is doing well.
Of course not.
Only that El-Rufai is not a baby.
Figure of speech.
Of course. Yeah. But really, there's something really nice here on the Nigerian News Direct. I like, you know, Nigeria is making moves to replicate aviation trade agreement with Colombia. We are yet to celebrate the fullness of that of Brazil. Yeah. Colombia seems to be on the line. Good one, don't you think?
Very good one. And I'm happy that we're seeing that all the travels, these are the results of the travels. You cannot build a nation if you do not travel around, you know, get a lot of people to believe in your country, invest in your country. We're still celebrating Brazil and we're looking at Colombia now. But, you know, yesterday I was having a conversation to someone and I feel like, Nelson, up till now, we do not understand. The normal Nigerian on the road does not understand what this does for Nigeria. Yeah. Because it doesn't put food in your pocket, you think that nothing is being done. But when you look at this in the long run, more businesses will come, more investments will come. And when this investment comes, who does it help? The Nigerians as well. Yeah. So I feel like when we hear news like this, it's high time we celebrate it. It's high time we push it. Some of the stories, we do not get to push it. You rather see the bad news pushing, but this is a fantastic one.
Yeah, indeed it is. It is. And which brings me to the Daily Times, Ibrahim. Nigeria threatens reciprocity as U.S. cancels valid visa. What is going on here?
So what is going on is the fact that U.S. is also pained, just as some politicians are also pained. Because if you look at what is going on the internet, on the global scale, the conceptual West, talk about the US, the UK, the France, all of them all together, they are angry that Africa is now finding its footing, especially the kind of counterbalance they are presenting, that realignment.
With China,
the president of Nigeria just left Brazil, went to Japan, he's been to different countries, signing deals and also getting this people. If you look at what China is also doing, he's also hosting Russia, he's hosting Kyrgyzstan, he's hosting India, all of those countries. So they are already positioning the BRICS nation and the SCO nation, they are also already positioning themselves as Africa, we need to start doing business with you. And Africans are already waking up. They're saying, enough of this, conceptual waste of US and really, and then they also told us, come and take Venezuelan refugees. They said, we are more than 230 million people, and you're still bringing criminals to us. Keep them to yourself. So this is US angry, and we don't care. We don't give a hoot.
Ibrahim is always passionate when he speaks about this, and I love it. But now, so let me say something. Please. I feel like it's high time that Africa, we also build our own. Sometimes when we hear all this news, it's quite sad to see that, a lot of Nigerians are going to get into US now. They're cancelling their visa. They're making it look like when you get there, everything is okay for you. We still have Nigerians there that are suffering. I think it's high time that we make our country better.
Indeed. That's right. Yeah. And Etoma, to what Ibrahim just ended now, this, and some of the trade things that Ria also mentioned on the Guardian newspaper, this money of $1.7 billion raked in by airlines, look at the breakdown. And this is weekly foreign flights. The top of the bar is British Airways. To what Ibrahim was saying. And you see different, airlines going to specific countries. Now, whilst we're not against Nigerians traveling around the world for whatever reasons, but if we fix our country, maybe we wouldn't go much out.
We have Americans coming to Nigeria. We have the British coming to British citizens coming to Nigeria. Look, it's about business. It's not so much about developing your country. The one that I do not like is this one they call medical tourism. That is the one that pains me. That talking about medical tourism, I align with what Ria said. Fix the Nigerian medical sector. And let other people come do tourism, medical tourism in Nigeria, not the other way around. We are spending a lot of money traveling abroad for medical reasons to be seen by a Nigerian doctor that has jackpot to that place and so on. So $1.7 billion US dollars. If we had invested that money
Now, so let me say something quickly. I'm happy that Etoma has said this because as a youth, I speak a lot with a lot of youth on social media. And even when I see them, I want to have conversations with them. And trust me, they still have that mentality of living. Most of them still have that mentality of living. And that's why we need to hammer on the fact that in education-wise, we need to make Nigeria better. In so many aspects, we need to make it better. If it's better, these people will not leave.
I couldn't agree
so very quickly, and I think the problem we're having with this particular one is the fact that Nigeria does not have much carriers, airlines. So Airpeace, Ibom Air, and one other airlines are the one doing international. So we do not, and the issue of dollar to naira, exchange is also affecting.
So we need a national carrier.
We need to realign.
We need to push our local carriers like Airpeace and the rest of them to be allowed to do the job. Let's not. I mean, I wish we had the time.
That's right.
But Ria, the Platform Times, this wahala of flooding in the country, 22 billion naira by the ecological fund shared, we're still having threats. What are states doing with this money?
Where is the money? Accountability. Was the money shared? Did we see the people it was shared to? When we speak about this flood issue, I thought Mokwa has taught us a lesson.
But look at the breakdown here. The writer says, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, Ogun among flood-prone states with low shares. Well, then over 1,200 communities, 107 LGs placed on high flood alerts and all of that. Yes, the money's been shared, but use it judiciously according to your own ambit.
And that's what
the
we
right
say.
people are not asking the pertinent questions.
No, are they even getting? Is the money going to the grassroots? That's even the question.
No, when you send the monies to sub-nationals, there should be a body that monitors and asks you, what did you do with this money?
Exactly.
Because if you do not give us a good answer or show us what you did with the money, there are some sanctions.
Yeah.
Of course, we shouldn't be doing that. But quickly, let's go to the Punch newspaper this morning, and this is quite a lot here, so we'll wrap it up. The Punch newspaper, Daily Trust, and the Blueprint newspaper are all talking Simon Ekpa, Ibrahim. Let me bring this one to you now. The federal government is seeking to repatriate him from Finland after he's been given 6-year jail term.
So the question I'll be asking his supporters is because, at the time, they were always saying that Nigeria is a zoo nation. And they said Finland is a very developed nation, and then they allow freedom of speech, freedom of whatever. Now their Messiah has been sent to 6 years after killing a lot of people in Nigeria. So I want to ask whether Finland has now turned to, this Simon Ekpa back in the day, he called, our program, Issues with Jide, he called TVC, myself, and BKO terrorists because of the fact that we were highlighting the atrocities
he's been doing.
Yeah. So the Southeast, that's to tell them that they should open their eyes. This person is also charged for sponsoring terrorism, fraud, tax, and all of that. So, and he's collecting money from these people. So it's just a wake-up call to them that these people that are fighting your cause, they're also stealing from you.
He needs to be locked here too. After he suffers that, then he comes in.
Ria, that is nice. But let me take all of you now to our final paper today, which is the Sporting Life. Season-long loan deal, Chukwueze signs with Fulham. Always when I see these signage stories, it makes me feel really good for our guys.
Our guys are really pulling through. I'm not going to lie. When we talk about football, they are pulling through. We see Victor, a lot of people are looking for him. We're saying this again. So we see that our footballers, they are giving that value. And Nelson, I told you since play football, so we'll make that kind of money.
He's actually on a loan, for the year 2025 to 2026. And then if he now decides he might want to now let's pay up and then stay there permanently. But he's also very, very excited that he's leaving AC Milan to join Fulham. And Fulham are also very, very happy to welcome in Chukwueze. So let's see him,
see how it pans out.
He's a left-footed, player, but then he plays from the right and then he does so well.
Well, Ibrahim, I am not excited that we're handing over from the newspaper review, but that's how far we can do that this morning. But join us after the break as we analyze the contributions of President Bola in ensuring equitable distribution of projects across the country. That will be after the break.